Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Can't wait to get started on today's topic. It was a fun one. This was actually a direct message that you're going to want to hear for sure. It was an amazing one. So we're going to get started here today. I just want to make sure if you want the 3 big takeaways for today's show, as well as the link back to pertinent previous podcasts, head on over to ihp.coach/206. Today, we're going to be talking about how many hours it truly takes to make a great living as a coach. We'll talk a little bit about personal training, massage, esthetician, acupuncture, etc. And then we'll talk about virtual health coaching, which is really what we talk about inside of IHP. Now, this podcast, again, you have to understand is I'm not always able to respond to every single question that I get, but I see them all. I really do. And so this was a update that came in through my direct messages on Instagram, and it was an IHP. And this IHP was, I remember, 2 years ago, one of our up-and-coming ambassadors, great person. They got a position then with one of the other IHPs who has a big wellness center, still has a big wellness center. And then about a little less than a year ago or so, they went on their own. And they left me a really nice message that said they just had their first $10,000 month. So of course I wrote back, "You are amazing. Congratulations. I just know that the future holds so much in store for you." And so I'll get more into that story because I'm not going to put this person, I'm not going to put them on blast right now. I don't want them to, I don't want people to think that you can't send me a direct message and I'll, immediately give out your name. I don't do that. You typically don't see any of the celebrity based, testimonials on my website, anything like that. I try to keep things on the up and up, and we're all here for the same reason, right? We're here, I think, to help improve the lives of others and also make a good living while doing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all, right? I did this back when I made no money at all and got paid $8 an hour, wearing a purple t-shirt in a gym when I was 18 years old. And I do this today, which obviously is quite different from being paid $8 an hour and wearing a purple t-shirt that said staff on the back. But I'll never forget those days, right? Because that's where I started. And I realize how far I've come, but I also realize how far I have to go before ultimately I want to pass this on completely to future generations. And so you're not getting rid of me yet. It's going to be another, I'd say a good 40 years before I'll go anywhere. So 35, 40 years or so. And I won't go anywhere. I'll just probably shift gears as well. So let's get into this here today because this person's not, they're getting close to it. But they left a question for me. I'm going to get to that question, but I need a few moments of your time just to share with you what it takes to make a great living in other professions besides being a virtual health coach. So I have a lot of experience in personal training and nutrition and massage and Pilates and yoga and esthetician and anything wellness spa related because I've hired hundreds of people and I've licensed out different systems to over 600 different studios and spas and training centers all over the world. So I've quite a bit of experience with this, which just means that I've seen a lot, right? That's all that it means. It's just I've been around for a while and I've seen a lot. So, the top people out there, they're working 40 hours a week, right? But what does that look like? Well, not everybody has to work the 40 hours a week, and because there's a new virtual based industry, and I'm going to get to that. But for the most part, traditionally, as a personal trainer or a massage therapist or an esthetician or a who else would fit this? Acupuncturist, maybe even a chiropractor, etc. Right? Like any different service business. You could even add, you could literally add anything to this, like hairstylist, etc. So most people, let's say they're working from 9 in the morning to 5 at night or 10 in the morning until, what would the math be on that? 6 at night, whatever it might be, right? So everybody has their own system. When I owned multiple locations, my personal trainers worked from 6 in the morning until about 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. And then the evening, second half of the day shift came in, and they worked from around 1:30 or so until 9 o'clock at night. So they each kind of worked 8 hours, and they worked beginning of the day or end of the day. Most personal trainers work all day, all the time. But I wanted something different for my team. And so I said, listen, I can help you get busy and make a full-time career with essentially working half of the day. And I was able to do that. And I'm very proud of that just because I'm happy that I was able to hire dozens and dozens of personal trainers and help them to achieve their life's mission, right? Because instead of getting paid like $27,000 a year, on average to $32,000, which is like the typical average for a personal trainer, we help them make 80 to 100,000 plus, and some made well more than that. So here's how it works typically. So ours was a little different because we did 45-minute sessions, but most gyms, you're doing about 30 hours a week if you're a busy personal trainer, and you're working like 40 of those hours because you're writing your programs and you're emailing back clients, et cetera, right? So it's basically 5 days a week, 6 hours per day training. So that's where you get the 30 from. And then you have a couple more hours in there that you're at the gym writing programs or emailing clients or calling clients. And then, of course, you get in your own workout. So it's not like it's again, just want you to know, it's not a 6-hour day. It's still 40 hours a week, but you're doing about 30 hours, okay? But in most service-based professions, massage therapists, esthetician, hair stylist, etc., you are getting paid for only the hours essentially that you're working. Okay, so as a personal trainer, let's say you're getting paid $100 an hour. Great. So if you work 30 hours a week, how much are you getting paid? $3,000, right? Easy math. That's why I set it up. So easy math for myself. If you get paid 80, obviously it's going to be less. It's going to be $2,400. That's $10,000 a month, essentially, instead of $12,000 a month in this example. But you get the picture, right? Okay, so $12,000 a month is about $150,000 a year, 144, however you want to look at it. There's more than 48 weeks in a year, but let's say about $150,000 a year. Great. So that's it. So, honestly, that's the formula. So, okay, you want to be a successful massage therapist, personal trainer, esthetician, acupuncturist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you're going to put in a 40-hour week, maybe a little bit more. You're going to work 6 hours per day seeing people. It might be from 9 to 12 and then 1 to 4, or it might be from 10 to 1 and then 2 to 5. However you want to set it up, you can set it up. That's basically the bottom line. But that's what it takes. Now, that's if you want to earn $150,000 a year, getting paid $100 per appointment. Now, if you wanted to earn less, you would obviously just work less hours. If you wanted to work more, this is the caveat, you can't really work a lot more. And the reason is that you only have so many hours a day and you only have so many peak times. So the reason why we did 45-minute sessions is that we could get in the session at 6, 6:45, 7:15, and 8. That's 4 sessions before 9 a.m. Most personal trainers could do 6, 7, and 8. We did them on the 45 minutes. We were able to get more clients in, more satisfied clients. They were happy to do shorter workouts and still get the same results. So you might want to think about that in your practice. And I have a whole podcast on that too, and we can link that up as well. All right, ihp.coach/206. Okay. Now, there is something that you can do though. As a personal trainer, once you get busy at 30 hours a week, what do? You can simply raise your rates, right? If you double your rates, you make $300,000 a year. Right? If you raise your rates by 50%, you make $225,000 a year. So the math is easy. I enjoy simple math. I'm a simple math kind of guy. I'm an algebra kind of guy. And that's that. So again, I'm not here today telling you to overcharge your clients. What I'm telling you to do today is give phenomenal value, get your clients results. You will be busy, and then you can decide on your rates from there. That's it. I've always had lower tier programs so that people could always take advantage of the services we offered. And oftentimes it just allowed me to hire more team members and they could charge less. Back in my day, we had some personal trainers charging $79, some $89, some $99, some $120, some $150. That's just what we had, right? That's the different tiers. And they get to charge more when they're busier and they have a good following. All right, so you know the math now, right? The extra 2 to 3 hours you're working on top of the 30 hours as a service-based professional, you're doing your admin work, you're doing your charging if you're a sole proprietor, your upkeep, your emails, your program design, company meetings, etc. Okay, so that's that. That's not a business owner schedule, by the way. That's a sole proprietor entrepreneur schedule. That's when you run a business, it's more hours than that. That's for sure. Again, but if it's just you in the business, then you can absolutely do it in 40 hours. Now, what about a health coach though? This is where the direct message came in. They asked me specifically. They said, "I'm not there yet, but you said that you could earn $100,000 a year in 10 hours per week." And I want to explain that today because I still stand by that. You have to keep in mind is that everything I tell you, I always give you the how and the why. And then it's up to you to decide, do I want to do that or not? Because it's always realistic. I would never give you something that's not realistic at all, like especially for IHPs. I mean, this is specifically for integrative health practitioners. So the same rules apply, all right? So we're not going to do anything, we're not going to even do anywhere near 30 hours a week. And I'll share that at the end, because here's the thing. Most health coaches are not going to do 30 hours of appointments a week. They'll burn out. They really will. In our practice, it's 20 to 25 hours a week. That's what we expect our equal life health coaches to do, because that's realistic. At a 40 hours, you can do about 5 hours a day and 3 hours of then follow-up work and prep work. That's very realistic. It really is. So that's what but our people are like the top. They've been doing this for a while. They've been doing it for a long time. They're the top people, right? And that means you could be one of those as well. So the top people, if you're one of the top, you can do about 25 hours a week, okay? I've done more. It does lead to burnout. It really does, for sure. I've done 30 to 40 hours for years in my practice, and here's why. So people can do it, because it's not like I have a special skill. I don't, right? My past is having Addison's disease and burnout. So like, listen, I don't have any special skills, right? So not when it comes to energy and health or anything like that. So here's the thing. I did it because I was the only one doing functional medicine in my practice, and I had a long wait list. So people would say, you can't see me at all, like for the next 3 months. And then it got to be 6 months. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's ridiculous. So I had to train other people up. But in the meantime, I worked more. And so that was basically it. So like, I don't wear doing more hours as a badge of honor at all, but you do learn faster as well. So like when I was doing 30 to 40 hours a week of appointments on top of running, all my programs and teaching and all that, you learn the hyperspeed. Right, because you have to, because you get in so much experience. But that's a recipe for disaster, and it's a recipe for burnout. It really is. But here's the thing. You see it coming, right? You don't just jump to 30 hours a week or 25 hours a week. You start with appointment a day, right? So here's the formula I want you to follow. I think most coaches can comfortably do 2 to 3 hours a day of coaching. I think they can. I really believe that. So you can do 9 to 12. You can do 3 to 5, like whatever works for you, or 3 to 6. So I think that's very comfortable, and that's what I want to teach you right now. So it's about 10 to 15 hours a week of paid appointments, okay? So we're just going to do 10 hours a week, and because it's the simplest way to think about it, and it's something that's achievable for everyone listening to this podcast. So maybe you're already a personal trainer right now, or an esthetician, or a yoga instructor, or a chiropractor, or acupuncturist, or anyone. You could do 2 hours a day of virtual health coaching. You absolutely can. You can get certified as an integrative health practitioner or certified health coach. You can add it to your practice. Work with people all over the world virtually. That's it. Like, it's very straightforward. You can do that, right? You need to learn it, but you can do it. So that's why I'm giving you this example. It's 10 hours a week. You could do appointments 4 days a week and do 10 hours, right? Or I'm going to just give you an example of 5 days a week, and you're going to do appointments from, let's say, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. each day, or 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. We're just going to use that as an example. I'm going to share with you right now how you make $100,000 a year with 2 appointments a day, because it doesn't seem real to most people, but it's actually just math. That's all that it is. And it always comes back to giving fantastic value and getting people results. If you give tremendous value and you get people the results that they came to you for, they will be happy. They will gladly refer you to other people. They will gladly come back to you for the next level of whatever health means to them, right? And you are going to be trading a phenomenal value for what, in my opinion, in this example, is just a fair fee. A fair fee. That's it, right? So a lot of health coaches, a lot of people in general, people in the health-based space, I had to do it myself. We have to get over our fear of charging money and our imposter syndrome of charging for health and feeling like we should just give it all away for free. I get it. I mean, I still do it to this day. I do a free podcast every day. I open source all of my protocols. Like, literally, the app is free. I give away free labs. Like, I overcompensate for all of this stuff. I give away free so that in the end I can charge a little bit. Like, that's like, again, like, so if your mind is a little bit twisted, like mine is like, I don't really want to charge for this, give away more. and then you'll feel comfortable charging, right? And so that's how I look at it. And we'll talk about that towards the end. But this is all you're going to do. You're going to charge $180 a month for each client. And with that, they get a 50-minute call with you each month. Make it an hour if you want. Totally up to you. And they're going to get a once a week accountability email. They can email you once a week with their questions, as well as what you've asked them to follow you up on, whether it's digestive symptoms, their weight loss or weight gain, or any questions that you've asked. Just a couple, that's it. Sharing the biometrics if you're helping them with sleep, etc. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So once a week check-in, that's with email. Maybe you use a text app for support, that's up to you, and a 50-minute call each month. All right, that's $180. That's a very fair value. Very fair. That's like $45 a week, right? Okay. So now you're doing 10 hours a week, 10 appointments a week. Okay. So if we multiply 10 by 180, what do we get? $1,800 a week. Okay. Let's use 50 weeks just for easy math. 50 weeks in a year times 10 is $90,000. Now, again, you might take off 4 weeks in a year, but it's not difficult because all you're going to do is add a few more appointments the week before you go on vacation and a few more the week after. And you can still get the same. And then 2 weeks are just off completely, right? Okay. So when we look at this, it's $90,000 a year. Great. You might say, but you're $10,000 short. Not so fast, right? Look at it this way. You've got about 40 clients a month that you're working with, 2 a day, right? So if we look at this, it's 10 hours a week, 10 clients a week, 4 weeks about it a month. We're looking at around 40 to 50 clients maximum. That's all. And remember, it's a little different than personal training, of course, the massage, but you're working with these clients for 3 months to 4 months in a row. And then you're still probably going to do 1 or maybe 2 follow-ups the rest of the year with them. So it's not always as much client turnover as you think. It's really not, right? You can do this with, I'm going to keep it at that. I'm not going to get into the marketing aspects or things like that. Okay. So now, for those 40 to 50 clients that you're working with in a month, you're making recommendations. Water filter, shower filter, air filter, nutritional supplements, at-home labs, whatever it is they need. You're not just going to just say, hey, buy this, buy this. No, it's not about that. It's whatever they need. And you're going to earn a commission on that, right? And so most likely the commission is going to be 10%, 20% on a lot of these items. And maybe the client purchases, I don't know, $150, $200, whatever it might be, like for protocol or air filters or whatever it might be, right? Okay. Well, that's like, what, $15 to $30 a month for $200, right? Or that's $20 actually to $40 a month. Let's just use $20 or $25 as a commission. That's it from each client. Great. Some clients will be more, some will be a little less. Well, 20 times 50 clients is 10,000, right? If we're looking at this over the course of a month, over each month, right? Because it's $100 and we can gauge that over 10 months if we want. Or 40 clients times $25, right? So when we look at that, we're saying, okay, this is where you get that extra $10,000. And that's real money. That's money that gets deposited to you as an affiliate or an ambassador. And there's your $100,000. It's literally 2 hours of coaching a day, 2 hours of appointments a day. You make $100,000. It's just, again, $180 a month. You're not charging per appointment. You're charging for the package. And this is the minimum. And it's $1,800 a week. And it's 50 weeks. That's $90,000. You're going to earn a small commission or a big commission from whatever it is that you offer, because you're the coach, you're the expert. Now you're making 10 extra thousand minimum. It's probably more like 20, 30,000. But anyway, we'll just say it's 10. That's $100,000 a year, 2 clients a day. It's absolutely doable. And yes, it's doable for you as well. Because you're like, I don't know about me. Yes, for you as well, right? Especially if you're saying that. So the thing is though, you're not, and I want this all came about with this particular direct message. You're not working 10 hours a week though. You're most likely working 20 hours a week, 4 hours a day, because it's 2 hours to deliver the service. And then it's about a half hour or so, maybe an hour maximum to prep for those appointments, maximum, probably half hour. Then a half hour to an hour a day of returning emails and responding to people, right? A little bit more upfront when they're a new client and much less when they've been a client for you for a while. And then it's a half hour or so, maybe an hour maximum, of your social media, where you're connecting with people and you're also teaching and getting new clients. So that's about 4 hours a day. And this is the schedule that many of our IHPs have set up between 9 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. That allows them then to drop the kids off or whatever it might be and run some errands and then have some lunch and go pick the kids up again, like whatever it might be. It also works for a lot of our people that are moving from one job to another. They'll work from 6 at night to 10 at night. And now they're basically moonlighting, creating a new career for themselves and allowing themselves to transition out of a job that was making them $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And so you can see that this is very, very doable. We teach this in depth in the business mentorship experience. That course has already started, but this is just a little tip of the iceberg of what we teach. So I won't mention the person's name, but I want to say congratulations on your first $10,000 month. I'm sure it's the first of many to come, and also much bigger things. So again, hopefully this was helpful. This always comes from your feedback. Let us know what else you would like to hear on the show. It is your show. And again, thanks so much for being a part of this IHP community. Take care, everybody.